We're joined now by Greg Biffle, driver of the number 16 Roush Performance Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. Bless you.
Thank you.
Greg, four-time winner here at this racetrack. What is the secret to conquering Michigan International Speedway?
Well, it's a great racetrack to race on. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you have to have a car that get around this place good, and each end is different, and so I've been able to. What I like about the racetrack is no matter kind of how your car is driving, you can adjust your line around the racetrack, maybe run a little bit higher on one end than the other to compensate if your car's a little bit too loose or is doing something that you don't like. As of late, as they've changed ride height rules and those things on these race cars, it seems like they've become a little bit more temperamental, and if the car isn't right, you have less opportunity to kind of move around and adjust your line and get it to do what you want. So it's gotten a narrow, a little bit narrower window for getting your car right. The racetrack still races really well, up and down the racetrack. So that's certainly a lot of fun. But you gotta get it dialed in, and we're working on doing that for this weekend.
Good deal. Let's open the floor up to questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We'll start with Mike and go over to Wolfgang.
Yeah, Mike from the Free Press. Greg, you guys must be finding something, and it's I'm sure making Jack a little happier over the last month or 6 weeks. Can you talk to that, and what are these increments, and are you happy with the situation?
Well, I mean, we certainly are, and like I spoke about the cars, and you got to be temperamental, and you got to be right on the money, and we have gotten a tremendous amount better this year, and we've been good at executing the races well. So we got 3 top 10s in a row, and then the other guys have done well. We've had a little rough road, blown tire and 2 wrecks, so. And then a split nose last week ended up, getting us back to 16th from probably a top 10 finish. But, Ricky, snuck up there and got one last week, and the 34 ran well, which was one of our cars. So we're showing improvement, and, which gives us a lot of confidence. And then, we feel really confident. We show up to a place like this where we know it's a good racetrack for us, and our fastest car is 19th. So it's sort of, like high, low, by the end of the weekend, we're kind of back to where we want to be on speed. And, it's really disappointing for us because we came here with this package, and it took us a while. It took us till, the race time or middle of the race, so we really kind of got our car where we wanted it. Had good speed here at this race, ran about top 5 lap times. And so we came back exactly how we left here. And we're way off. So it's funny how, we're standing there looking at each other like, how is this possible? The rear's not traveling like it should be. The car's hitting the racetrack, or the front is. So it's a little discouraging, and this sport is very humbling. So when you think you got it figured out, for sure you don't. And it reminds you of that every week. But we have sat down and looked at it for getting ready for real qualifying. We feel like there's some areas that we can still improve a little bit on, but it's still mind-boggling how we can come here, how we left, and nothing's changed, and be, a fair amount different. So, we keep at it, and keep making notes, and keep learning, and keep getting our cars better. And I think that's probably part of why our setup's off is, we've gotten our cars better. And you got to probably modify that setup a little bit to match that. So we're learning about that.
Go to the middle of the Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Munzer from German Ranchport Press Agency. It's a follow-up question, Greg. You said you left here, and now everything is different, and you don't understand the car, if I understand your answer correctly. Before you came here, is it not possible technically you make some simulation work with this less downforce setup?
Yeah, I mean, we ran here with the less downforce setup before, so we thought that, we'd be right back where we were, so, because nothing's changed from when we ran here before. But, that could be some of our weakness is, maybe our simulation is not as accurate or not as good as maybe some of the other teams. And we felt like we've really closed in on that as we've improved our performance. We felt like our simulation has gotten a lot better. And maybe it has, but maybe they still are a bit better than we are. So we'll continue to work on simulation and getting our cars closer off the truck. That's one thing that we discuss in our Tuesday competition meetings is how do we get faster unloading off the truck and being closer, and not take the entire practice time qualifying and up until the race to get our cars optimized, so to speak, as good as we think we can get them. So, we keep going home and saying, well, if we started there, we should, if we had spent all that time getting that, set up better, maybe we had been closer. So, we keep, we keep working on it. We have found a lot of speed, and, that we know there's a little bit left there.
Additional questions for Greg Biffle. Greg, I have a question.
Okay.
Kids Drive NASCAR, big initiative launched this week. Starting next year, kids 12 and under are going to be able to get in free to Xfinity Series races and Truck Series races. A lot of kids are going to be at the racetrack this week. How important is that to see the young kids coming into the sport?
It's very important. And, kids, let's face it, my daughter included, she's a little younger than 12. They love cars and they love, racing as part of our heritage. And my daughter's gone up and watched the Xfinity races and with the other kids, and it's fun for them. It's fun for them to come and experience and meet the drivers. I think that's the biggest thing, is meeting the drivers and getting a die-cast car of your favorite driver. And I think that's important with the kids coming to the racetrack, is take home a 164 die-cast car, their favorite color. And a lot of times it's color scheme, or it's something to that effect that's not necessarily the driver. So that's fun to see the kids make those choices too. And it's easy it's easy to make a NASCAR fan out of a kid when they get to come and see the cars go around the racetrack and take home a die cast or a poster and put it up in their bedroom. And that's it's neat initiative, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the kids at the racetrack.
That's great. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you back in here again, and good luck this weekend.
Yep, hopefully it's in the last time I'm in here for the weekend.
Good deal.
See you guys.
Care.